Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon or good evening to all of you. Thank you, organizers of this important gathering. We've just heard some very powerful testimonials from those who have spoken before me. So I won't contribute more to that because I think that's been, I think enough of that has been said about what has happened to people, like people that have been affected by the nuclear testing. Earlier this morning, I attended what they said, sharing of views on the TPNW earlier this morning. And as probably many of you are aware, the Marshall Islands hasn't signed off on the TPNW agreement. And I explained earlier this morning why we haven't signed off on it. Part of the problem with us, we were involved in the negotiations. And we witnessed the signing of the treaty, but we haven't signed off on it. Part of the reason is because we feel that under Article 6 of the agreement, it seems that the burden for the test, the burden to basically clean up and a lot of other things, including health and other issues, have been basically given to the victims rather than the perpetrators of the testing, perpetrators, those who caused the testing or took place who perpetuate the testing. So that's one of the reasons why we haven't signed on that agreement. Although we would like to sign up on the agreement because at the end of the day, Marshall Islands have been through experiences that some of you have testified to. We have lost islands, we have lost people. And a lot of our people are still dying of cancer and other related health issues. I could give you an example. I have a sister who is living in Hawaii. She can't go back home because she's got cancer. And there is no cancer treatment in the Marshall Islands, the right medication. So since she caught this disease, she has stayed in Honolulu all this time. And just last weekend, her only daughter gave her a birthday party, and she invited a lot of people of her own generation to come to her party because she just got out of the hospital with another treatment. She has been in and out of the hospital with surgery and other treatments. But that's just one individual. I lost two uncles. So, I mean, if this is intergenerational. I was born in 1956, 2 years before the last bomb was exploded in the Marshall Islands. People of Bikini were moved from that island in 1940, I recall it was 1946. When they were moved, they were promised that this was only a temporary move, and they will be brought back as soon as the tests are concluded. Well, now it's 79 years since then, and they have not moved back. So that temporary move still, until now, is 79 temporary years. But those are the kind of issues that we face in the Marshall Islands. And so while we are keen and we want to make sure that there's no more nuclear explosion, that there's no nuclear testing, and that there's no nuclear war, and that we must do everything we can to ban nuclear weapons. At the same time, while we agree with the TPNW, we feel that it doesn't go enough. It doesn't go far enough to address issues that affected all of us. All of these people are appear in most of them. These intergenerational issues that affect generation after generation. It's something that will never go away because it's in the gene. What we must do is make sure that there are facilities that could be there to provide the treatment that is necessary and the financing that goes with the financial applications of those who conducted the test and not a burden on those people who are affected by it. Let me give you an example too. We have a lot of cancer patients from the Marshall Islands that we refer them to the Philippines and to Hawaii. The government of the Marshall Islands pay for those treatments. We pay for those people to go on the plane and go and get treatment in Hawaii, in Taiwan, or the Philippines. The taxpayers pay for it. It's not the U.S. government. The U.S. government has only paid for what the U.S. government has said. They only identified 4 groups of people. They're from the Bikini and they were from Lebanon. They're the ones that the U.S. government is willing to pay for their treatment. But the rest of the Marshall Islands, no. So that's not fair for us. So those are some of the issues that we, as a whole, have not been able to come to the table to sign up on that TPNW. While we really would have liked to, until and unless that agreement is changed so that the burden it lies with those people who perpetuate the testing, are responsible for testing, take the burden from us. We're hopeful that we're working with Dr. Tito, and I have been traveling, and we're traveling with other countries that have been have had nuclear testing, other members of the UN. We have been talking about how we can perhaps work on amending the TPNW, especially Article 6 of the agreement. But, you know, like I said, we can get these testimonials every year at the anniversary of these testing. But I think time has come when we must require other things that some of us mentioned here. Apologies. In our culture, apology is very, very important. And we have never seen apology from 2 sources. One, the United Nations. For the Marshall Islands, the United Nations actually authorized the testing during the trust territory. We were under the trust territory administration. And the U.S. was the administrator, but the UN gave permission to the United Nations to do. The United Nations gave the permission to the United States to conduct the testing, despite the fact that we had delegation come to the United Nations and petition the United Nations to stop the testing. 2 resolutions were passed by the United Nations through the Trustees of Council, authorizing the testing, despite the fact that some of our own people were at the Trustees of Council petitioning the Trustees of Council to stop the testing. So I think part of our healing, if we want to talk about forgiveness, part of our healing requires apologies. And apologies must come from the United Nations, which authorizes the United States to do the testing, each for the people of the Marshall Islands. And apologies from the United States government to the people of the Marshall Islands for the damage and pain that has caused, the loss that has been perpetuated on the population of people of the Marshall Islands. Last September, our president, for the first time, came to the United Nations and demanded of the United Nations that the United Nations apologize. We're still waiting to hear what the United Nations say and when that apology will come. Hopefully it will be soon. But we also are demanding that the United Nations, United States, apologize as well. So we're waiting to hear what the United Nations say, and we're waiting to look at the United States and ask them, when are you going to apologize? I know the United States has apologized through President Obama to the people of Japan for the Hiroshima and Nagasaki testing. I know that the United States has apologized to Japanese American descendants who were interned during World War II. All the Japanese citizens, Japanese American citizens who were interned during World War II. The United States apologized and actually has compensated them. So we're saying, all we're asking that we be given martial law each for the margin, give them equal treatment by the United States. If they would apologize to the victims of the bombing in Japan, then why not the Marshall Islands? What is the difference between us and the people of Japan? Nothing. We're all victims. We're all victims. That's what we are looking at as we work with the United States. And as Benedict says, we have an agreement with the United States. What we call the Compact of Free Association. And it's true, the Compact doesn't fully address the issues that we're facing. When the original document was executed more than 40 years ago, we were not given the full benefit of the testing, results of the testing. There were a lot of documents that we were not aware of, so that when we signed the agreement, we would realize the actual contamination that had spread out throughout the Marshall Islands. We weren't fully aware of, or the medical condition then. It's only now that we have been, that with the release of other documents, we now find out that what we signed off to more than 40 years ago, we shouldn't have. But we were forced to, because we had no one to advise us on. We were not aware. We were not aware of these other documents that had just been released in recent years. So, what I'm saying is, under the agreement that we signed, we also signed an agreement that we said we espouse, we call under the agreement, section 177 of the agreement is called espousal clause. We espouse the United States from any damages that would occur to the people of the Marshall Islands because of the test. But we signed that agreement because we were not given the full benefit of the results of the testing that have now been brought to our attention. We signed that agreement based on what we were told. And so now we're arguing with the United States that the espousal clause that we signed cannot be valid. And that under the agreement, we have filed what we call changed circumstances petition. We petition the United States to look into the damage and claims that we have filed and the agreement that we signed. We're saying there's changed circumstances based on new evidence that have come out that we were not fully made aware of. So those are the issues that are affecting the Marshall Islands as we continue to struggle and work with the United States, because at the end of the day, we still have to work with the United States. The thing is, until that full, what we call, someone has mentioned that there is no full settlement until there's a full disclosure of what happened in the nuclear test. So I want to leave it there, and I've been taking too much of your time, but I want to take this opportunity again to thank the sponsors, and thank you all for taking the time to come and listen to our testimony. Thank you very much.